Good evening, everyone. We are so glad to have you back with us, and we're glad to be here. As always, I tell everybody, be sure to have pencil and paper and write down a lot of information that we're going to have for you this evening. We have outstanding guests. They're going to have a lot of information, and you don't want to miss not one bit of it. So I'm encouraging you right now, make sure you have a pen handy, make sure you have paper to write down a lot of this information. And if you need to contact my guests after the show, you'll have phone numbers. So be sure to write those down. My first guest, and I want to introduce her, is the Nye County Clerk. This is Sandra Merlino. We call her Sam. Sam, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We are so glad to have you. And as County Clerk, you do so much for this county.
Well, we try. That's my job.
Now you're in Pahrump, and that's where we are tonight.
Yes.
But you're also where?
Tonopah.
Tonopah. Your main office is where?
Tonopah.
Main office is Tonopah. And that's the county seat, which is probably why the county clerk is there.
Right.
So we want to talk about some of the things that you do for the county. I know you've got a lot of information, and I'm going to encourage people to write this information down. If they needed to get in touch with you after this show, how would they get in touch with you? I know we have some phone numbers for you. I'm going to make sure they're correct when they put them on the screen.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I answer my emails.
Okay.
And so no matter where I'm at, whether it's a weekend, vacation, I always answer my emails. And that is smerlino at sorry, now I'm nervous. smerlino at co.nye.nv.us. That is the best way to ever reach me.
Okay.
Okay.
And one of the things that she just mentioned is the fact that she always answers her email. And this goes back to when I was on the town board and I would contact her. She always answered. It didn't matter when or where. She always responded and she always had the right information. So Sam, I just want to thank you for the years that I've known you. And I have been so impressed with all that you do.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Okay. So do you want me to get into it?
Yes, I want you to get into it. Tell these people what you do and why you do it.
Why I do it. You know, every county office is important. They're all constitutional offices. The jobs we do are important to the public. Many people don't know what my office does.
Right.
We are clerk of the district court. Most people know me as the clerk of the elections. That seems to be the thing that's on everybody's mind all the time, and that's when my face is seen most. We issue marriage licenses, minister licenses, fictitious firm names. We're clerk for the Board of Commissioners. That's where you see me as well.
Okay.
But all these jobs entail a lot of work. And it's a very busy office. I have 4 staff members in Tonopah, 5 in Pahrump.
Okay.
And just so you know, we have some new staff this year. We've been spending a lot of time training, but I have got a great group of people. I've got to say that on air. My chief, Rachel, is amazing.
Okay.
And I think anytime somebody goes into our office, they get as much information as we can possibly give them. They're helpful. We always get thank yous, and I'm very happy to have all of them.
Well, you know, when we hear some negative things about some of the things that go on, say, within Nye County, and I don't hear anything negative about the clerk's office.
You know, we try not to be negative, but I have to tell you, we get angry voters.
Okay.
We get angry defendants, angry, you know, because we take care of domestic and civil marriages, divorces. We get everybody, and we are actually the first door in the courthouse.
Yes.
And so if they're angry about anything, even if the bathrooms are dirty, they come to our office and complain. So we get all the angry people, and we try our best to calm them down and satisfy what they need and help them out. So.
You must do a good job, because evidently when those complaints go into your office, when they walk out, they're not complaining anymore.
Well, we hope not. It doesn't always work, but we do our best.
At least it's not in the newspaper.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's a good part. Now, you said earlier something about one job with the county commissioners. What do you do with the county commissioners?
Well, we're clerk for the board, which means we're basically the record keeper.
Okay.
We have to attend every meeting. We handle the meeting minutes, the recordings. We also, being the record keeper, we keep track of all the ordinances, resolutions, those type of things. We've got file cabinets upon file cabinets of documents, agreements, contracts, anything the commissioners sign, we have an original in our office.
Okay. So that's with the county commissioners. Is there anything else that you do with the county commission? Besides all those things that you just mentioned?
Well, we also track all of the county boards. You know, the commissioners are in charge of many committees and boards. They're over all these little, you know, districts and things like that. We actually track all of those. We're responsible for checking for vacancies and terms and things like that. We notify all the boards. We advertise. We get those items on the agenda to be filled. And really, I have a full-time person for the commission job.
So, and you're also talking about the agenda for the county commission.
Actually, administration handles the agenda.
Okay, so you don't do that?
No, thank goodness. So, not that we want to get rid of things, but yeah, we'd need another person for that.
Okay,
So.
Well, that sounds great. With all you do for the county commission, and then you also talked about licenses, marriage licenses and ministerial licenses, and what other licenses?
Well, just that, fictitious firm names, which usually they need a fictitious firm name before they get a business license.
Okay.
And it's required they file with the county. Marriage licenses, everybody knows what that is. And as far as minister licenses, it's and I shouldn't say minister license anymore because now notaries can perform marriages. So it's actually just a license to perform marriages. And so notaries can do it, ministers can do it, military.
When did it start? When did it start that notaries can perform
I think
marriages?
it's been 4 years.
Okay, that's one I hadn't heard.
Oh, yes, they can.
Had any of you heard that?
We do have some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know several notaries, but I never heard them talk about being able to perform marriages.
Yes, they can. They have to apply just like a minister does or anyone else who
But if they're just a notary, they can't?
They can't. They have to actually apply for
Okay.
the license to perform marriages.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the notaries that I know and
Okay.
see if they want to do something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to do that.
I know. Me either. I'm a notary, and I'm not sure I'd want to.
I know when I was on active duty as an officer, I also had my notary stamp, and I was able to do that as a commissioned officer.
Right.
But never thought about marriages.
You know, I have to tell you though, those are happy occasions. We
would be.
love it when people come in and get marriage applications. They're always happy, excited. They bring their whole family in, and we enjoy that part of it, believe it or not. So.
Okay, and what else?
Well, as I said, elections, voter registration, those are huge parts of our office.
Tell us more about that.
Well, of course, we register our voters, and as far
when do they register, or how do they register?
Register to vote?
Yeah.
Well, they can register in person in our office. They can register online in the Secretary of State's website. And now a new change that is taking place now, but it's still in early stages, and we're having a lot of problems, is that if they go into DMV will register them. It automatically goes to our system.
Okay.
We accept those applications, but it's not set up where they're checking addresses, so we don't get a lot of matches. It doesn't automatically precinct them or anything like that. So although we're getting those, there's a lot of work to be done. Where registration is easy, we have it right in front of us, we can handle it, but these online that come through DMV, there's always a lot of corrections that need to be made and a lot of contact information. We have to send them a letter saying, hey, you know, you don't have everything here. But it's a wonderful thing because people who maybe thought they were registered before are being registered now. We used to have a lot of problems. During an election, I'd have 50 or 60 people waiting in line because they weren't on our roster to vote. And we'd find out that they thought they'd registered with DMV, but DMV didn't register them. And that has since been corrected. DMV here is wonderful. People are now registered this last presidential election. I hardly had anybody that came in and said they weren't registered that had gone to DMV. So the system is corrected, but we just still have some bumps in the road, but it's working. And even when you change your address now, it comes directly to our office and you get a new ID card. We make that correction. I had somebody think there was some voter fraud going on because out of the blue they got a new voter card, and so I had to assure them, no, you went to DMV and you changed your address. That comes to us directly now, so we make that change automatically. So it's kind of a handy thing.
And then they get a new card.
Yes, saying now you're in this precinct, this district, whatever.
And removed from the other card.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That keeps the rolls accurate.
Yeah, it does, but just so you know, our rolls will never be accurate. Everybody says, are your rolls clean? They will never be clean. Well,
why not?
Well, you know, Nye County is a transient county, first of all.
Okay.
We have people going back and forth, Vegas, Nye County, Vegas, Nye County. But the thing is there are certain regulations, laws that we have to follow. We can't just remove somebody from our rolls because we think they moved. Or if you tell me my next door neighbor moved, I can't just remove those people from the rolls. We have to have some sort of proof, or go through a process. They have to miss 2 federal or general elections.
Okay.
We have to send them at least 2 notices.
That's 8 years.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, actually, we have a federal election every 2 years, so it's
okay.
But usually it can take up to 6 to 8 years to remove somebody from our rolls. So, you know, we get a lot of people say, oh, these people have been on the rolls forever and they haven't been here, but we, by law, just can't remove them because somebody says so. Even though it starts a process, we want people to say, hey, my neighbor's moved. Then we get the name, we start the process of sending them notices. So that's what we want people to do, is let us know, but don't expect us to just kick them out of the system because it doesn't work that way.
With the amount of births and deaths, we know kids are not going to register to vote, but when people die, how do you remove them from the rolls?
Well, there are only 2 ways we can do that. We do get a report from Vital Statistics, and we used to get that maybe once a year, once every 6 months, and so yes, our rolls were not real clean, but now we actually get a daily report from the Secretary of State's office.
Okay.
And what happens is our system uploads to the state, and it cross-checks with DMV and Vital Statistics. So we get reports much more often, so we're able to remove people like that. But unfortunately, people pass away out of state and things like that. So no, we may not get those notifications right away, but a letter from a family member will also allow us to remove that person. So,
well, with all this information, I want all of you, as I said earlier, be sure you have pen and paper so you can find out exactly what's going on. We're going to bring Sam back for the 2nd session, and we're going to continue talking about the role and responsibility of the Nye County Clerk and the Nye County Clerk's office. So come back and join us.